freestyling this, so bear with me. But watch this scene. I'm sure you've seen it already, so this is just a shortened version of it, and then we're going to discuss it. So here we go.
What are you doing?
I thought I might help you out. You were busy wiping yourself off anyway.
Look, it's fine. You don't have to do that.
I can give you a massage as well. It's the least I can do to atone for my sins. I'm actually pretty good at this.
Fine, do what you want.
All right.
Hey,
You'll get used to it.
Okay, so obviously you've probably already seen that scene. If not, you wouldn't be watching the video on Death Note. And of course, all the comments are, this was such a bizarre scene. I know it's got plenty of significance, but it still seems a bit out of nowhere. There is no heterosexual explanation for this. The you'll get used to it had me. Okay, okay, we get it, of course. That's YouTube, that's the internet, that's expected. Anyway, going to the Bible, right, right. And don't worry. I'm not about to preach at you. This isn't going to be some biblical. I'm not about to hit you with the Jesus stinger and tell you to go and convert, or to change your life. Don't worry. Let's just read this because I thought about this years ago when I watched Death Note and just thought about the scene again. Anyway, John 13, 1 through 17. Plain modern English paraphrase, yada yada. It was just before the Passover feast. Jesus knew the time had come for him to leave this world and return to the Father. He loved his own people in the world, and he loved them all the way to the end. They were eating supper. The devil had already put it into Judas Iscariot's heart to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had put everything under his authority. He knew he had come from God and was going back to God. So Jesus got up from the meal, took off his outer robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, poured water into a basin, and began washing the disciples' feet. And there's a paraphrase, of course. Then he dried them with the towel around him. When he came to Simon Peter, Peter said, Lord, are you really going to wash my feet? Jesus answered, you do not understand what I'm doing right now, but later you will understand. Peter said, you will never wash my feet. Jesus answered, if I do not wash you, you have no part with me. Jesus liked to use that a lot. Anyway, Lord, then do not wash only my feet. Wash my hands and my head too. Now he got greedy. A person who's already bathed only needs his feet washed. The rest of him is clean, and you are clean, though not all of you. Jesus said this because he knew who was going to betray him. That's why he said, "Not all of you are cleaned." Okay, yada yada yada. Into more religions that do this. Mandi foot washing, a religious rite involving foot washing observed by various Christian denominations, and voodoo. So voodoo, it's a bit more serious. I don't know too much about Mandi, but I know about voodoo. Voodoo is the idea that you are cleaning yourself before you face God. The idea that you are in preparation to face your creator, right? And if you are a religious person, you want to present the best version of yourself to, this being that you believe created the universe. You absolutely want to do so. I mean, if this being that you believe that you're worshiping is the creator of the universe, doesn't it make sense to clean yourself and prepare your body and your mind before you go and prostrate yourself in front of him? So with uh Islam, you wash different parts of your body 3 times. Your mouth, behind your ears, your hair, your hands, your feet, all in preparation to then pray to their creator. And this is a sign of absolute respect, right? It is a sign of, man, you were so important to me that I'm washing your feet. And then we're gonna go over to one more, and this is the part of of the Odyssey that I was looking for. Um, and Sciron was a notorious bandit who terrorized the Ceronian rocks and the scene. He would force weary travelers to wash his feet. While the victim knelt down to perform the menial task, Sciron would suddenly kick them over the cliff edge. The fallen travelers were then devoured by a monstrous sea turtle waiting in the waters below. The hero Theseus ultimately defeated Scion and gave him a taste of his own medicine. So, while this is a
Do to atone for.
definitely a humble thing, in all these different religions. It's a sign of piety. It's a sign of, oh man, you mean so much to me. This is a sign of my care and comfort to you. And while that is partially maybe the case here, since Ale loved getting Light comfortable in various situations, he liked deluding him with comforts to make him get comfortable. In this situation, Light believes that he is Sauron. He believes that this is an act of power. He's comfortable and he allows it to happen in the scene because why not? Okay, whatever. I'll allow this person who's below me to wash my feet. He is the person who would, very happily kick Ale. And if you haven't watched Death Note, you should stop watching. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know what you're doing if you haven't watched it, but you should definitely stop watching because I'm about to spoil. But in the scene, he is Sauron. He would willingly kick Laliette Ale, and he does so, right? And he would willingly, sacrifice this man to the monsters, to death, to whatever comes after life. But Ale isn't like all in the right here, you know. Yes, this is symbolic, right? He is preparing just like Jesus did for his leaving of the world. But there's also the sense of him preparing Light for voodoo. There's a back and forth. Light's okay with this because he believes he's in control, and Ale's okay with this because he doesn't believe that he's about to die either. He believes that he's in control. And this is more preparing Light for the afterlife. It's more preparing Light for what's to come and for the betrayal that he expects to come to light and be completely and absolutely 100% um, proven through Light's actions uh, after he reacts to what comes after this scene. And it's very cunning what Ale's doing. It's not a coincidence that uh, he is in the position that Jesus was in. He believes that he is the ultimate form of justice, and Light believes that, although we understand that he has a thwarted mind, he thinks that what he's doing is justified. Which there's a debate to be had there. But that too is not a perfect form of justice, and El Laliette is not some hero. He's not some great guy who is a wonderful human being who, in general, just is good, by basic definitions. He's willing to sacrifice people. He's willing to use people. He's willing to manipulate whoever he has to in order to achieve and get to his goals. He's just another kind of monster. And there's another scene in the extended cut of Death Note, the movie, where Ale explains that he is a monster. He sees himself as a monster. And Light is the exact same kind of monster. And Light, Ale is able to be consumed by Light and defeated by him because they're the same kind of monster. And although he's viewing himself from the position of the savior, who's preparing this other person to either betray him or to go on to the next life, there's also this idea that he is not worthy or he is not clean enough to be in the presence of Ale. Because what Jesus is doing too is a partial form of voodoo in preparation for what comes next. If you were going to confront or face God, if you were going to be such a significant figure in history or be such a significant figure in my story, then you need your feet to be cleaned. And you need to understand that I'm doing this not for you, but for you to be in the proper position and state before you face God. And that's what Light is doing. I mean, that's what Ale is doing. He is preparing Light. I mean, Ale is preparing Light for the cleanliness that he needs to then face God, to come face to face with God. So just like everything else in Death Note, this is just a meeting of the minds and it's a confrontation. And both of these people have their own versions of justice and their own viewpoints on what is going on in the situation, why it's happening, who has the power, and why this is significant. But in both situations, their worlds, their thought processes, although they're both monsters of the same brand, are so incredibly different that they both believe that they have the upper hand here. They both believe that they have some sort of power, you know. And Ale hearing the bells toll could mean that he was in preparation of his own life coming to an end. But that doesn't mean that he expected to not take Light with him. It doesn't mean that he expected for the absolute, plot convenience, trump card, plot armor to come out of nowhere and get Light out of the situation that he found himself in. So that's it. I just wanted to make this video because I saw the comment sections, and I should just stop looking at comment sections in general. But I saw this, and this is something. This is something. I think this is an extremely significant scene, and obviously there are a lot of really good episodes in Death Note, but this is like the most memorable episode in Death Note. Him in the rain, the bells tolling, the scenes that we see of it. Like this is such a significant moment in Death Note, and I think this episode is so good that this is one of the reasons that when people rewatch Death Note, they stop here or they stop watching after the first season. And I think the last episode too is very very good. And I didn't like it at first when I was younger, but I really like it now. I do like the ending of Death Note now, and I don't like. I like the ending. I like the fact that that happened, but I don't like how it happened. I don't like how it happened. It was just super unrealistic. There are videos on that. People going into much more depth with much more animated videos, animations and stuff to keep you stimulated. Anyway, but I do like the ending, and talking about it now makes me aware of the fact that the Death Note writer is really good at making endings, and most people aren't. This is why we need him right now. In the current landscape of the world, this is why we really need him because we need him to come back and create another story with this dynamic between two characters. This dynamic is so powerful that I want to write my own stories with the dynamic because this is what made Death Note. Anyway, I'm ranting now and getting completely off topic, but what can I say? What can I say? It's my favorite anime of all time. That's all. Y'all have a good day.